Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Petty Talks TV. This is your family's talk show about pets, where nothing is too petty for us to talk about when it comes to your pets. So come join our community of pet lovers and allow us to entertain you and hopefully our topic how to deal with loss. And we have invited a special friend. Her name is Meredith Tan, who has had that experience of losing pets through the years. So you might know somebody who has such an experience, and perhaps even you yourself have gone through losing a pet or pets. So stay with us till the end because we will be allowing you to ask questions that we can answer during the show. And here to show some pictures of Meredith with her beloved pets then and now through the years. We are live on Facebook on the first and third Saturday of the month, 5 o'clock Philippine time. And we're also on Instagram sometimes. If you're watching this in a replay, just go ahead and move the video forward. The stream is made possible by StreamYard. StreamYard prides itself in being the most stable platform for live streaming where you can have professional streams and they also have ease of use. Now, my name is Tita Mee, shortcut for Tita Meow, because I love cats, but we obviously talk about other animals as well. And if you have just missed it, our topic for today is about how to deal with pet loss. And our guest is Meredith Tan. So we'll dive into Meredith Tan's past and present pet pet, or how do you call that? For parent experiences in a short bit. So Meredith was previously the managing director of their own hotel in Palawan back in 1998 to 2013. This hotel is called Asturias Hotel. Her hobbies include reading, journaling, and cooking. She actively serves in her church now, which is Christ Commission Fellowship. And she does counseling and she leads four discipleship groups. So she's happily married to Wilson Tan. So let's dive right into that. Friends, let's welcome the very charming and sweet, lovely dog lover, Meredith Tan. Hi,
Hi,
Meredith.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So
How
nice to
are
be here.
you? Yeah, I am
I'm
so
good. How are you?
happy. I'm so happy to
Yeah.
have you. We've been wanting to do this, right? Because
Yes.
Meredith, I've shared with you even off camera that I've had friends who experienced losing their pets or a pet, no,
Mm-hmm.
especially those that have just started to take care of pets and then they lose the pet. It must be really devastating. But before we go to that, I'd like to ask you your experience in the past. So, when was it when you first your when you first had your first pet? Yeah, that's quite a tongue twister. When you first had your first pet, how old were you?
Actually, I was just newly married. That was
All
way
right.
back 1990, I think. So that's how old I am. Our first dog, actually, we bought a German Shepherd.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, actually we've had so many dogs because my husband and I were really dog lovers. So our first dog
Hmm.
ever was his name was Einstein, and he died when he
Einstein.
was only yeah, he was only like 3 months.
Oh,
So
wow.
we were already attached to him. I don't know how he
Mm-mm.
died, but I think he was bitten by something because we let him roam around the yard and then
Okay.
something bit him. I don't know, maybe it was a snake. We only found out
Oh,
after he
really?
died.
A
Yeah,
snake? Wow, that's
yeah. So
unusual,
that was
diba?
the first, yeah,
Yes.
unusual. So that was the first heartbreak with the
Mm-mm.
pet.
Mm-mm.
And we missed that dog. After that, we bought another one, and then another
Mm.
one. Actually,
And
we've had so
another.
many. We've had German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Chow Chows, Pomeranians. We even had Bichon Frise. and my dog right now is
Okay.
a Cotton Detolier. But over the years, I
Wow.
really got attached with the three dogs. The one that I gave you the picture with,
I will
the
show that.
one, the
I'll,
Chow
yeah.
Chow, that's
Yes.
Babu,
Let me
and the
let
other
me show
one,
it
yeah, all
while
right,
you're describing it. So the one
yeah,
the Chow Chow is the one on the leftmost of the
no, in the
poster, right?
middle,
Ah, in the
the
middle.
in the
That's
middle,
what's
that's
the name?
Babu, that's
Babu?
Babu, and then
Yeah.
the first one on the left side, on my left side, the one I'm looking
Yes.
at, it's Twiggy. That's my our Pomeranian, and
All
the white dog, the one I'm holding, that I'm wearing color blue shirt. That's
yes.
Yumi. She's our
Yumi.
baby right now.
She's your
So those two
current pet.
dogs, Babu and Twiggy,
Chow
they
Chow.
passed away.
Ah,
Babu passed
Twiggy. Yeah.
away on, yeah, Babu passed away 2016, and
Mm.
Twiggy like 2010. But Twiggy lived for
2010.
like 11 years, 13 years, and Babu died
13 years.
after 11 years. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, so those
Wow.
are the two dogs that I got really attached to.
Okay. So there's some pictures also like I want to show that because here no you have on the bottom right who's this? Who's this pet
Actually,
on the yeah, you
that the pit
sitting on your
bull.
lap?
Oh, those
uh
are chow chows before. We had
yeah.
three chow chows. That one is Babu. The two puppies I'm holding are Chelsea and Piggy. Piggy died
Okay.
also. And
Okay.
that actually the bully, American bully, that's my brother's dog.
Ah, all
But
right.
right
Okay.
now he's already at my sister-in-law's family.
Okay. You know what did it Meredith. I'll call you Meredith.
Yes, sure.
I of course we're friends. No, we're schoolmates and we're friends
Hmm.
on Facebook. And I used to see your pictures, very pretty all the time. And you usually had pictures. Your pictures were usually with your dog. So I said,
Hmm.
this friend of mine really loves dogs, no? And then
Hmm.
one time I stopped seeing you with dogs. So maybe like there was a time that
Yeah.
you didn't have a dog for a while. Am I
Yes.
right? There was a time when you
Yes.
didn't have. Now,
Hmm.
Meredith, for you to, I want the audience to be able to relate with how much a dog really means to you, or at least when you say you were attached to your dogs before, to the specific
Hmm.
dogs, the two dogs that have passed away. I know that you have a story to share because you shared it as a testimony. Why has a dog been very important to you?
Actually, because we
Yeah,
don't have kids, my
all
husband
right.
and I,
Yeah.
we never had kids. So we
Mm-mm.
focused on having dogs instead. But
Mm-hmm.
having dogs is just also like having kids. They're really our family,
Mm-mm.
and they give you. They're really so loyal. That's an understatement.
Mm-hmm.
They love you unconditionally, and even if you scold them, even if you don't match how affectionate they are to you, they're
Mm-hmm.
still the same. So I that's what amazing about
Mm.
dogs. It's
Wow.
their ability and their capacity to love you unconditionally. And sometimes you
Wow.
always fail them. And sometimes I feel like in my other dogs, aside from the three dogs, I felt like I failed them, especially with my other dog Furby. Like I wasn't really mature enough when I had
Mm-mm.
Furby, because I think
Mm-mm.
dogs come to our lives at a certain season, like
Mm-mm.
when you were I think it's somehow like God sends these dogs, these pets to you at a certain
Mm-mm.
stage of your life,
Mm.
that you can need them, that you need them the most, that they can comfort you, that they can be your companion. And there's something different about owning a pet. It's like they also, aside from you own them, they also own you.
They
And
also own you.
even,
In what way?
yeah, in what way? Because somehow, because I read about dogs. They have favorite humans.
Oh, all
So
right.
yeah, especially my dog right now, Yumi. She's so
Yes.
attached. I think she has separation anxiety. Every
Mm.
time you leave, she would not eat. She would not play with
Oh.
her toys
Mm-mm,
until you
mm-mm.
come back. So
Wow.
somehow, like, they're very, like I said, they own you. Sometimes
Yeah,
they get
yeah,
your
yeah.
slippers. They try to invade your bed.
They're like
Yeah,
little children, diba? How cute,
yeah,
no?
so much,
Yeah.
so much,
I
so
can't
much love.
relate with
Mm-hmm.
you, to be honest. I can't relate so much in terms of taking care of dogs because I'm a cat
Mm-hmm.
person. But they say there's
Oh.
no such thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up with, I've had a puppy or two, but yeah, I experienced losing a pet actually when we had a little puppy. And then I remember the puppy's name was Milo, and it got sick, and my son was very young then the time. So we would have that puppy run around, and then we'd be eating lunch. My sons were still very young, and then so it died as a puppy. So um,
Mm-hmm.
there was a time when we were already. I remember specifically, Meredith. There was one. I don't know if that was dinner or lunch, but we were praying for meals, and before that puppy passed away, that puppy would be just under the table, just being there, walking around the dining table. And then suddenly it disappeared. So there was one time we were praying before meals, and then my youngest son just started to kind of like tear, and it was such a sad moment, no? to
Mm-hmm.
see that such a cute creature can also cause so much pain when it's gone.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Meredith, are we would like now to help. There might be people that are experiencing pain right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you back. Sorry, but I want to take you back to the very first time when you lost
Mm-hmm.
your first pet. And you said you lost
Mm-hmm.
it in how many months? How many months what's the
After
name of
three
your
months,
first, yeah, what's the name
the
again
first
of
dog
your
was
first,
Einstein.
yeah, Einstein.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did you feel? What first of all, you said this was the one that might have been bitten. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happened? You just found the dog sick or dead or what? How did
He
Einstein?
just
Yeah.
suddenly felt sick and he won't
Mm-mm,
eat. Then
mm-mm,
we brought him to the vet, and then at first
mm-mm.
they can't find out what happened to him until he died. And
Mm,
after he died, they just saw that there was like a snake bite on his hind leg. So that
oh,
so
you think it's a
actually
snake,
we were
not a
hoping.
big rat?
I think
Mm,
it's a snake. I don't know, but after he died, we really missed him a lot. I think
yes.
I cried for like 2 weeks because I
two
think I was
weeks.
still young then.
Mm-mm,
It's my
mm-mm,
first dog, and then um, I don't know how that's been so many years ago. That's like more than 30 years, but I think
wow.
the pain was like there is. It's like missing him,
Mm,
missing the dog so much that you look at the tray where he takes his food. You
mm,
look at the cage where he was brought in.
mm-mm,
So it's more like missing the presence of having the dog around you. But,
mm,
aside from that, I also felt a really sad loss when my dog Babu, because my Babu is the one closest to me, yung Chow
yes,
Chow, the
yes,
one I showed
yes,
you. Because
yes.
when he died, I wasn't there with him. I was
Mm-mm,
here in Manila and he's in Palawan. And
mm-mm,
my friend said the vet told me that he's really sick and he's about to go anytime and he's already suffering. So he
mm-mm,
said anytime now he can go. And then
mm.
what happened was I was really preparing myself emotionally, spiritually, that because she said, "Oh, you prepare yourself because Babu is going to leave you soon." Those days before he left,
Ah,
and it even happened on Christmas Eve.
oh no.
Yeah. So I was really sad, but I kept looking at Babu's pictures, the times that I
Mm-mm,
held him. it's really more on being attached to the pet and having those memories, those happy memories that you took care of it. It's like really having a child. The times
Mm,
when you held the dog in your hands, when you walk the dog, when
wow.
you feed, those things suddenly, flashback, they keep coming back to you. But
Mm,
somehow over the years, because I think I have reached, somehow I've become mature already because I was older already with Babu. Uh, and
mm-mm.
and because I was already a Christian, and
Okay.
I pray a lot. I have a relationship with the Lord. At least I wasn't as devastated like I was before when with the
Mm-mm.
first pet with Einstein, because I was the
Mm-mm.
time I was still young. And but now this time when I had Babu, I think somehow I had that maturity. I had the strength to bear with the loss, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still painful.
Mm-mm.
But still, even right now, when I think about Babu, I still miss him a lot. When I
Really?
look at the pictures until now, I think you can never take away that there's this, I don't know how you call it, but it's going to be there all the time.
Mm.
I think it's the same for pet owners. Like I also have a nephew, my
Yes.
nephew Ian. He
Yeah.
adopted a cat, and then during the pandemic, the cat really made him give him comfort. It
Mm.
really helped him a lot cope with
During the pandemic. Yeah.
the fatigue of going to school online and during the pandemic. So
Mm-mm.
the cat really made him happy, gave him comfort, and then all of a sudden the cat died.
Oh.
And every we were not expecting that the cat to die, because
Mm.
at first we thought he just got sick, and then my nephew took him to the vet, and then the vet said, he's okay, he's just dehydrated. And then after a few
Okay.
days he suddenly died. So I really cannot. We were all devastated for my nephew because we know how much he loves his cat. Until
Mm-mm.
now, he goes to
Mm-mm.
where, because my his lolo, my dad, made a box, like a casket
Yes.
for the cat, and then
Yes.
they buried him somewhere, because somewhere in a nearby open, it's a field. They buried him there, and then they put a planted a plant, and my nephew, he still goes there
Okay.
to
All
visit
right.
his the cat.
Yeah. That must be so sad, no? Just
Yeah.
hearing you talk about uh, you looking at the food tray and the cage. It must really feel so sad, no? And I can also
Mm-hmm.
see um a tinge of like sad. It's not really sadness, but I know that there's really a connection, no? There's a
Mm-hmm.
connection with the pet, especially with Babu when you lost Babu. No,
Mm-hmm.
because there might be people watching now that are really feeling so sad about it, no?
Mm-hmm.
uh, when I want to be able to relate to the actual moment when you lost the pet. So you said you were crying for 2 weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
um, what gave you comfort when let's go to your first experience, because later on we're going to see the difference of your reaction with the first pet. Of course, as you have more pets, you get used to the thought that uh,
Mm-hmm.
the pets really, by the grace of God, we outlive
Mm-hmm.
our
Yeah.
pets, no? But like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go there to that space where you were really devastated by your pet loss.
Mm-hmm.
What gave you comfort? What helped you go through it? Was it your husband, that you had somebody grieve with you, or did you
Mm-hmm.
try to soothe yourself by being busy? What personally? What did you do? What were your what what were your forms of comforting yourself?
Actually, despite the loneliness, you really had to move on.
Okay.
I kept myself busy. I tried to work. I tried to distract myself from thinking about the dog. And although when loneliness, sometimes when I remember the dog again, I try to again focus on other things. And
I see.
somehow I think the loss and also my husband, I think is he also he loves that it's not only me knowing that I'm not alone missing
Okay.
the dog, that it's both of us. So at least I know I'm not alone. And there are I just thought that just like you said, that since pets our pets have shorter lifespans than us, I realized that I shouldn't expect my dog to outlive me. Right?
Right,
They,
right.
that, and that I realized also, it's also somehow a realization that having a pet is a really big responsibility. It's not only for vanity or something that to show off that, yeah, here's my cute dog, here's my
Yeah.
really good nice looking dog. It's not
Well
only that.
trained
It's
dog, you know.
yeah, my look. I taught my dog these tricks. It's not only that. It's having a certain maturity of being nurturing, and at the same time, discipline. Be a disciplining pet owner. So I
Okay,
think
that's
after that,
important.
somehow it's good that after I lost that pet, I learned to prepare my heart for the next pet, because I know that the pets will really come and go, since the average lifespan for dogs or cats is like 20 years. Is that right?
That's
So
long. That's long because
that's
I
long,
know
because some,
something,
yeah,
yeah,
some
15 or yeah.
15,
Depends
yeah,
on the
more
dog.
or
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
So
Maybe,
really
yeah.
I realized that after I lost my pet, that I will really outlive my dog. So maybe in my lifetime, let's say I would live up to my 70 or 80, maybe I would have had like how many dogs that will pass away. So that's
Okay.
like
How,
you know, it's, I know you can never prepare for something like that, losing a pet, but
mm,
somehow you have to be mature. You have to be
oh, you're right.
prepare your heart. And
Mm-hmm.
it really, I really believe that pets, they really come at an appointed time, at that
Really.
certain stage or life situations you have when you need them the most. And then
Okay.
after they're gone, I think they've done their purpose.
Wow, that's a nice
Yeah,
perspective. Yeah, yeah.
it's like they came, and then after, and then they're gone. It's because their purpose is done with you. Somehow that's what I think. And they had to go, not to make us lonely, but somehow to at least stretch our hearts and make us more understanding when we experience the loss, right? So
Right.
those are
Yeah.
really challenging, challenging situations in life. And that it's also a way of experiencing that nothing is really permanent and everything
Mm-hmm.
has a purpose.
Mm-hmm. You know, I
Yeah.
remember that I had a guest before. Her name's Ellen. She's also from CCF, and I remember because her story. On the other hand, her story was losing her dad. She lost her
Mm-hmm.
father, and then her husband got COVID also and was hospitalized. I think
Mm-hmm.
he was quite not so well, no. And
Mm-hmm.
it was her pets, like to your point, where pets come at an appointed time.
Mm-hmm.
Her dogs became her source of comfort, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I like what you said, that dogs really can love the master, the owner, unconditionally. Isn't that
Yes.
so wonderful? And when you said that, I can't help thinking about how God loves us. You know, it's even
Mm-hmm. That's
better that the
true.
dogs can love us unconditionally.
I know.
Isn't that a shame for us that,
Yes.
our dogs, our pets can love us unconditionally. That's so nice. So, and then okay, so
I
I
think it's
just
also
have a
one
code.
reason why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I
Sorry.
interrupted you. I think there's also one reason why we get attached to our dogs and pets or cats, because of
Wait,
that
wait.
unconditional love, that they love you no matter what. That they you can find that through them, and sometimes other people can't do that to you.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, hold on. There's something going on with my connection. Okay, let me just fix this.
oh, okay.
Yes, hold on. Just let me just fix this. There.
It's okay.
There, I see. Because
Yeah.
I flipped a page and for a while,
Oh.
I think my internet, yeah, it doesn't usually happen.
Mm-hmm.
So because what I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
was go to this. Wait, I wanted to see this. No, I don't know if I missed something you said because when you were saying something, all of a sudden something was playing on my laptop. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
weird.
It's
So at
okay.
any rate, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to go very quickly. I didn't make any presentation, but I'll just read. This is from Cleveland Clinic, and I did a little research among different organizations about how to
Mm-hmm.
deal with pet loss. And one of the pointers, there are, I think, four or five. And the first
Mm-hmm.
is, okay, how do you grieve? So first of all, it's important to recognize that gr- the pain is real, right? The pain
Yes.
is real, and
Mm-hmm.
that it says here that we have to pet owners who lose their pets have to realize
Mm-hmm.
that the grief is valid, no, like you said, they
Mm-hmm.
become a source of happiness, especially because you didn't have children. Meredith, when I read your testimony about, I wanted you to guest in our other show because your testimony was so nice. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
prayed for children, but instead you didn't have children, or you haven't had children. Instead, you
Mm-hmm.
had cancer, right? You had
Yeah.
cancer. Can you just, I know it's off topic maybe, but like, this is going to paint a more vivid picture of you and how you deal with pain and challenges in life. So, can you just very quickly, if you want to, share your experience about that? I mean, share a little about your life testimony, like that time in your life when you were praying to have children. Then you said you didn't have children. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
resorted to taking care of pets. This might come as
Mm-hmm.
a shock to you that I'm asking you about this, but it's a
It's okay.
public testimony, which is so beautiful. I can't help but bring it up right now. Would you like to share that with our audience of like really how what you discovered? Because sometimes we ask for things and we pray for
Mm-hmm.
things and we get
Yes.
something in return. What has been your life lesson, just quickly? What has been your life lesson about that? If you can share a little
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Well, I really think that I forgot the exact verse in Proverbs, but it says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is still
Yes,
God's will that prevails." So
yes.
we made plans, right? I wanted to have children, have
Mm-hmm.
family, and you
Mm-hmm.
pray for it, and then instead of God giving you children, he did not give you children, but instead he gave you sickness. But somehow
Wow.
that sickness, um I would apply Romans 8 verse 28 to that, because it says
Mm-hmm.
God works together all things for the good of those who love God, who are called according to
Oh.
his purpose. So I
Mm-hmm.
think because I love God, he turned everything for my good. So it
Mm-hmm.
when I had cancer, in that was 2006.
Mm-hmm.
That was the time I really got saved, because I was really depressed that time. I When I found out that they took everything already.
Mm-hmm.
After the surgery, you just realize that all your reproductive organs are gone, and
Mm-hmm.
then you are still planning to have another fertility workout. So finally, it's like it's official. No more children for you.
Oh, okay.
So that really made me depressed. But it was a time when I think it was my husband. He was already attending a CCFP group,
Yes.
and he asked me to be prayed over by the group. So I went. I just went. He just told me, "Oh, you go to this place. She'll pick you up." I just went just for the sake of going out of the house,
Okay.
because So I went there and then they prayed over me. And then
Mm-mm.
that was the time that I really, someone really preached to me and shared the gospel. It was Tita Nora de la Rosa.
Mm-mm.
And then that was really, I really poured out my everything, my anger, my heart. And then I accepted Jesus as my Savior and Lord. And all of a sudden, I really felt a big burden, or like a big stone was removed from my back. Suddenly
Wow.
I felt peace. I'm not afraid anymore to die, because I really feared of dying the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking like, I'm so unprepared to die.
Mm-mm.
We were still waiting for the results to come out if the cancer has spread. So I was really scared. So finally, when the test came back, I was not, it was negative. So I really think that it's a blessing when I got sick. And not having children is not only um made me a spiritual mom. Maybe I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a biological mom, but I'm like a spiritual mom to many children. Sometimes they're even
Right,
older
right.
than me. So that's
Yes.
how
It,
that's the story of God in my life. I guess it's his plan. So right now, everything, like if you have surrendered everything to God, he does everything for you. Like all the plans that everything, when I look back, everything that happened in my life, I did not plan for it. It just
mm-mm,
came to me. It just
mm-mm,
it was like appointed.
mm-mm. It's I'm just like I just want to listen to you all afternoon. I wanna wait. I wanna show this picture. Yeah, you see, like you have a very vibrant life. No, you have like you have your D group, you have your friends, and there's even this painting on the upper right.
That's my dad's
This
painting. He made that.
wow, it's really
Yeah.
really nice. No, wow.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so okay, so thanks for sharing about your life and what you learned from having prayed for something and you got something else in exchange, which ultimately shaped the way you are now and has
That's
opened
true.
doors for you to be a
Mhm.
blessing, no? To be a blessing and a source of comfort to other people, which is what you're doing now. So back to this article of Cleveland. So we have to recognize that grief actually also looks different for everyone because
Yes.
sometimes I
Mhm.
read when I was trying to research on this topic, I read Meredith that it like if there's somebody in your family or like you have a friend that has lost a pet, it's not nice. It doesn't come nice to the one
Mhm.
who owns the pet and lost it if you
That's
just say,
true.
oh, that's just a pet, you know, it's just a
Yes.
pet. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, that trivializes the loss and it makes the hurting person feel like, you know, probably it makes the person feel alone, right? It makes the person
Mhm.
feel like when, so if there's anyone there listening and you don't know how to deal with your family member or friend who lost a pet and is really looking so down, what's the best advice that you could give if somebody having experienced losing a pet, like you said, about
Mhm.
7 pets already, 7 dogs or so, no?
Mhm.
What's the best advice if somebody has like if there's somebody listening now and somebody
Mhm.
they know loses a pet, how do they give
Mhm.
comfort? What, on the other hand, how what advice could you give for people so that they can be a source of comfort to somebody that has lost a pet? Because I have a friend,
Mhm.
her daughter lost a pet not too long ago, and the daughter really got uh, affected by it. So, what's a
Mhm.
good way to help somebody hurting because of having lost a pet? What do you suggest?
Well, actually, it's okay to cry at first,
Okay.
because
Mm-mm,
it's really painful, and
mm-mm,
you get as much as possible you get emotional support. It's good that you
Mm-mm.
have family to really hug you or counsel you and be with you during your time of loss. Because but still sometimes, even if you get all those comfort, all those comforting words, the reassurances, sometimes even getting a new pet will not help. Because like my nephew, he doesn't want to hear about people saying to him,
Oh,
just get a new cat. He
oh,
doesn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. No, 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 no one can
No,
replace
no. Yeah.
coffee. He would say that. So sometimes it doesn't, it's not enough. But the grief is really, when the grief is really painful. I like my nephew, I told him, just pray and ask God to help you, to heal you, to comfort you, because God is the God of all comfort. And
Mm-mm.
He's the one who can really give us the comfort that we need, and not people. And he even said, what if he does not? I
Mm.
was he said that to me. Sometimes I really don't know how to comfort him already. But the best thing I can do is just you, number one, you pray. It's still
Mm.
it's still going back to God. There's nowhere else to go. Not
Mm-mm.
only for pet loss, but every kind of loss. Whether you
Right.
you lose a job, you lose a friend or someone you love,
Mm.
it's still God, because God is the God of all comfort. Who comforts us in all our troubles. It says like that. And and most of the time also, when we get comfort from other things, it's only like a band-aid. It's only like
Okay.
superficial.
Right, right.
It it sometimes it's also deeply rooted, because people get their pets because sometimes they're also struggling. Like
Mm.
me, we got a pet because we have no kids yet. So okay, let's get a dog for a while. So maybe sometimes you're also coping with something. So
Mm.
it's
I
there's
get it.
a root problem,
Yes.
why you lose a pet and then you're so devastated.
Mm.
Instead, that's why I will say that before getting a pet, you have to be matured, you
Mm.
have to be responsible, and you have to be ready to face reality that you will really outlive your pet, that nothing is permanent in this world, that you can lose your pet, that because bad things happen to good people, right?
Right.
So so there are many things in this life. We go through many troubles that we cannot explain, but still, when we know that there is a God who loves us, if there is a God who is a God of all comfort. I remember the story that the shortest verse in the Bible, is it in John 11? Is it John
Mm-hmm.
11
Jesus
verse?
wept.
Jesus wept, right?
Right.
It happened when he is it. It
Lazarus.
was when Lazarus died,
Yes.
because he loved Lazarus, right?
Yes.
And he wept, and he saw the sisters of Lazarus, Mary and Martha, they were so devastated upon. And then they even, if you only came, when, if you were here, he wouldn't have died. So, and then he raised Lazarus from the dead. So that's also
Mm.
my hope. Like I was telling my husband a while ago, like my comfort also, like in losing, when you lose a pet, is someday in heaven,
Mm.
if God raised Lazarus from the dead, how much more? There's nothing impossible with God. All the pets that you love, that have died before, you will
Mm-mm.
see them again. God can bring them back to you.
Mm-mm.
You will see them in heaven, because like say they say that in heaven, no eye has seen, no ear has heard what God has prepared for those who love Him. So it's going to be really unbelievably wonderful.
Something
So
so
I think that's
exciting, something to look forward
yes,
to. No? In all
that's
reality, it's
true.
really.
Yeah, that's why even
And
in bad times, the best is yet to come, right?
mm-mm. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, thanks for the three things you mentioned. No? I want to summarize that. So, first, you said is, uh, in a nutshell, if I understood you right, is that before you get a pet, you have to first, what was your term? You have to first be mature. I think it's also
Mm-hmm.
like meaning to say you have to be complete, something like that, because
Yes.
sometimes when you
Mm-hmm.
anchor your completion, your
Mm-hmm.
self-worth or your happiness on a pet
Mm-hmm.
or even on something else, like you said
That's
earlier, on a
true.
job,
Mm-hmm.
and then you lose
Yeah.
it, you get
Mm-hmm.
devastated, right? But you
Yes.
said, and to your point, you said, no, Meredith, you said, like, nothing is permanent on this earth, right? But there's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that's permanent, and that is the love of God, right? The
That's
love of
true.
God never changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
That's
It's
true.
always, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So that's been very, very comforting, and yeah, I guess, like you said, uh, at the end of the day, you really have to look for, why am I so sad? I think, like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I so sad about losing my pet? Why am I so sad about losing my job? We have to know that,
Mm-hmm.
I think, no, like, because this show is actually for us to just discuss and, bring our thoughts to the open. So I'm thinking now, because of what you said, sometimes when there are things that make me very sad, things that I lose, and then I'm very sad, I have to look deep into, why am I so
Yourself.
sad?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
was that to me? What was my pet to me?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
maybe when we understand what's behind all of the pain, it becomes, and we face the reality, it becomes easier to deal with, no?
Mm-hmm.
When we have that kind of
That's true.
approach, right? Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I also read one last point. I also read in that article, let me look at my código. I also read that the advice here is, create physical memories. Physical memories are one of the easiest ways to remember a pet. When Dr. Sullivan's family lost a beloved Yorkshire Terrier, the vet sent them sympathy cards and gave them a printout of the dog's paw muzzle prints. Does this work? Does that work? What do you think? Does that work? Did that work? Like,
Mm,
your father made not, maybe not pictures, but he put a plant or a place, no,
yeah, yeah.
for the lost
Mm-hmm.
cat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was iffy about that suggestion. Create a
Yeah,
memorial.
maybe
I don't know about
maybe for
you.
some people,
Yes.
maybe some of them they you need to keep a token of their memory. I know
Okay.
they you have a collection of all their things. You put them in one box, right? But for me, when I see in my case, when I see my dog's things, the more
Yeah. Yeah.
I get lonely. So it's
Yeah.
better that
Yeah.
I remove. That's why for me, I removed everything. So
And then move on.
that's why I don't. I did not keep the dog collars, the leash. This
Yeah.
I have to take it away because it just gives
Mm.
me more memories, and then when I remember, I still feel sad. So now, if I may add, right now when I think about the pets that I lost, uh, maybe I can say that I'm not so sad anymore because somehow I have healed.
Okay.
Because I have realized that maybe like they say time heals all wounds. Maybe because I have processed my grief properly.
All right. All right.
That's very
Yeah.
important,
Mm-mm.
and you accepted what happened. It's not
Mm-mm.
you're in denial, you're blaming something, you're someone, because
Mm-mm.
some pet owners after losing their pet, they have this guilty feeling that it's their
Oh,
fault.
yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
it's their fault. Maybe they hurt, they're the ones who caused the death of the pet, or they felt like they were not They were not there for the pet when the pet was sick. They didn't bring the pet to the hospital right away. Some are still grieving because there's a sense of guilt
Mm-mm,
of
mm-mm,
the cause of why the pet died or something.
mm-mm,
At least at least you have to really, that's why you really have to have this search certain maturity to accept things, to accept the responsibility, the reality, the untoward incidents. And somehow it's also a rehearsal of some greater loss that you might experience later on in life, because there will be, there's no
mm-mm.
guarantee, right?
Right.
So at least, s- with my dog right now, I have a new dog. Her name is Yumi, and my
Yumi.
husband is the one. Yeah, my husband is telling me, "Oh, you the dog is so spoiled with you. You might." I already tried to assess myself. What if something
Okay.
happens to Yumi?
Okay.
And I also
Yes.
saw my nephew, how he how devastated he was when he lost
Mm-mm.
his cat. And then I began to, oh, okay, I think I should prepare myself or check myself. Am I getting
Mm-mm.
how what will happen to me in case something, if in case I outlive Yumi
God
again.
forbid. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, because
Which should
she's
be,
only
which is our prayer.
I know, right? So again, I will just remember that God is there. He will comfort me no matter what happens. I can run to
Mhm.
him. He will be my
Yeah.
refuge. He will be my strength.
Amen. Yes. That's so
Yes, that's
nice. Yeah.
one.
So thank you for all the tips that you've given us. Thank you for sharing,
Thank
and
you also.
it's so wise. It's a reality that at the end of the day, um, we have God to
Yeah.
really um run to. But wait, before I let you go, there's this word that you said, like the anger. Like
Hmm.
you experienced anger in some of your pet losses, pet losses. Were there times when you would be angry? Were you angry at God?
Well, actually, when I had my miscarriage,
Mm-mm,
when I had cancer, after my surgery, I was really angry.
mm-mm.
I did not realize I was angry.
Okay.
I just realized it after.
How? How
You
did you realize that you were angry pala?
you just like, I became bitter.
All right.
I became
Okay.
bitter, and I just found out that I was bitter because I cannot there was a time that I cannot
Mm,
really accept I can't have children. How come? I was questioning God. How come? I only asked for one child. Only
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But he did
Sakit,
not.
no?
He didn't give me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
oo.
hurts, no?
Yeah, it really
Wow.
hurts. So somehow it's no longer because I realized that um maybe because you repented, because you realize that you're a sinner also, when somebody shared the gospel to me that you're a
Mm-mm.
sinner.
Yeah,
And then I
you realize.
repented, everything came out. I
Mm.
realized
All your
everything came out.
bitterness. All your
Yeah,
bitterness. Okay.
yeah, came out.
And then you were
And
released.
then I
You said.
surrendered, it was released. And I confessed, I asked for God for forgiveness. And then it really set me free.
How nice. How nice. Good
Yeah.
for you. What a wonderful experience you had.
Praise
Okay.
God.
Yeah, thank God. Thank you so much, Meredith, for
Yeah,
sharing
thank
the
you.
afternoon
Thank
with
you,
me,
Marina,
with
for
us.
the
We have,
chance. Yes.
yes,
It's my
it's really a joy.
privilege.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll talk to you a bit after the episode. Don't go away. So for now,
Okay.
we'd like to say thank you to you, and someday we're going to chat with you again this time. So bye bye. Thank you so much,
Bye.
Judith. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Talk to you in a bit.
Marina.
Don't go away.
Yes. All right.
Okay, so yeah. So that was Meredith Tan sharing with us her stories and how she has been able to cope with her pet losses through the years. And if I picked up correctly, what made her really be able to cope with the pain she went through was recognizing first of all that her pain was valid, and she need not blame anyone, not even herself. Don't feel guilty, and then recognize your pain is real, and then understand also that um, pet loss is, people grieve differently. People take pet loss differently. People have different ways of expressing their grief. So if you lost a pet and you feel like nobody can understand you at home, or your friends don't understand you, try not to take that too bad, because just recognize that people really behave about such situations in life in a different manner. But this is one thing you have to understand and remember, that know that you're never alone. The pain you're feeling inside right now, which maybe you cannot even express or you don't have anyone to share with, you have God, you have Jesus to share it with. You have Jesus to cry out your pain to, because He's always listening to you, and He's always ready to give you an embrace, a helping hand. He always wants to comfort you. All you have to do, dear pet lover who's lost a pet, is to recognize your pain and cry it out to God, and believe that He's out there to give you comfort. Okay, so it's a good thing, and it's really also something to be thankful for, like what Didith and I were discussing, that you outlived your pet, because recognize also that the pets have a determined amount or number of years to live on Earth. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you, and I hope that you have picked up something, and if you have learned something, or if you got encouraged, and if you want to just discuss anything with us, send us a message. So also please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook. With that, I'd like to say bye bye. See you next Saturday. God bless you.